Guys, COVID cases are not just on the rise for adults, but they're on the rise for kids too. These numbers are literally shocking to me. Now, first of all, it's important to remember what's been going on since the beginning of the pandemic. Since the beginning of the pandemic, there have been over 853,000 cases of COVID diagnosed in children. But what's really surprising and I think shocking in a way is that in the month of October alone, we had over 200,000 cases of COVID in kids. Guys, 853,000 since the beginning of the pandemic, but October alone had over 200,000. And not only that, but the week ending 10/29, October 29th, that week had over 61,000 COVID cases diagnosed in kids. This is unbelievable. This is shocking. And if we think about it, it sort of parallels what we're seeing in the greater world, right? Remember, we've had a number of days of COVID cases that have exceeded over 100,000. We recently had a day that had over 121,000 cases of COVID. But in addition to adults with rising cases of COVID, we are now seeing kids with rising cases. And I know people are going to ask why. They're going to say, well, why? Why are cases in kids going up? Well, I would probably argue that some of that has to do with the reason that cases are increasing in adults, right? We know that there's been some COVID fatigue happening. People have gotten a little tired. Some people are maybe not using the same, safety techniques that they might have been using earlier in the pandemic. We also know that as it gets colder, that may change things in terms of viral transmission. We also know that as it gets colder, people are spending more time indoors. Schools have opened up over time, etc. There's so many different factors. And one thing we have to keep in mind, though, I think, which is just as scary, if not scarier, is that, this 853,000 cases of COVID in kids, that may not even be the full picture, right? We know that kids often are asymptomatic, don't show any signs or symptoms, or have mild symptoms if they have anything at all. There's likely that there's many kids that have had COVID that we just really didn't know, didn't pick up, or didn't get tested. So, the suggestion is that this could be even higher than we thought initially. What I think is most important here is to understand how it sort of coincides and really rides along with the wave that we're seeing in general, how we are having more cases of COVID altogether over all ages in this nation. We are seeing a greater number not only of cases, but of hospitalizations. And we know that deaths lag hospitalizations, hospitalization lag cases. And those two numbers are going up as well. So as we think about our kids, which that's the purpose of this video, is we can't forget about our kids. We have to make sure that just as adults, we are doing our preventative measures, that we're washing our hands, that we're using hand sanitizer, we're wearing our face masks anytime we leave the house, really, that we're staying out of crowds, we're social distancing, etc. We have to make sure our kids are doing those too, all of those items, and that we're instilling in them the importance of keeping this up. And of course, there are many challenges because kids are back in school, and there's a number of different factors, again, that are playing a role, but we have to stay at this. And we have to remember too, that some kids, even though most do okay, and many have asymptomatic disease and have mild symptoms, there are some that go on to develop the multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children. That's that severe syndrome that can happen as a result of COVID infection in kids. So we have to stay vigilant and we have to stay diligent as well. Guys, please share this video with other people. Please look after your kids and remember that they need to continue with these safety measures just as we as adults are. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please share it with other people. And if you've not subscribed to my channel yet, I invite you to do so. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. I will see you soon.